let's say you were asked to solve x plus 5 less than 7. You know what? Let me leave this one for a second. Let me change the question. If I have x plus 5 equals, not less than, equals 7, how would you solve that? You need to subtract the 5 from both sides, or move it to the right side and change the sign, right? So if you do that, you'll have x equals what? 7 minus 5, which is 2. Well, guess what? We're going to do the same thing here. We can subtract the 5 from both sides, and you'll have x, instead of equal, it's going to be less than. What is 7 minus 5? 2. That's your answer. That's it. When you graph that again, here we go. There's the 2. It's less than 2, not included. There is the 2, if you use the new notation. And if you use interval notation, you answer from where to where? Negative infinity to 2. Let's try different problems.
This was the test breakdown. You had 3 rate of change questions.
2x less than or equal to 3 minus x. Now when I solve them just like equation, I always want my x's on one side and my number on the other side. You can add x, so I like the movement, doesn't really matter, add or move. Remember, change side, change sign when you're moving. There's nothing wrong with adding, but the nice thing about change side, change sign, you can do multiple things in one statement, in one movement. So I'm going to take the negative x here. So on the wrong side, I'm going to bring it to this side. And again, if I use change side, change sign, that will change to positive. What's 2x plus x? 3x. Right, you're adding. Now that's a multiplication. You can't move the 3 there and make it negative 3. That's only for addition, subtraction, change side, change sign. So when you have multiplication, what do you do to solve for x? You divide. You got to divide this side by 3, divide that side by 3. X less than or equal to 1. Graph-wise again, this is the 1, less than or equal. Here is the 1, square bracket to the left. And an interval notation from where to where? Negative infinity to 1, square bracket of 1, parentheses at negative infinity.
So it's safe to say that anytime you have infinity, you're always going to have a parenthesis?
Always. Always. Now we can make the problem a little bit ugly. Three half times one minus x greater than 1/4 minus x. What do you think? Any idea? Suggestion?
Can you make them separate and then distribute the...
Distribute this over?
Yes.
Okay, I could. That wasn't my choice, but I'll show you that. Jennifer, let's multiply. 3 half times 1? 3 half minus what? 3 over 2x, right? Greater than 1/4 minus x. I want all the x's on one side, all the numbers on the opposite side. So let me bring this one to this side, and let me take this one to that side. That's why I like change side, change sign. I can do both in one step. If I do that, I'll have negative 3 over 2x plus x greater than what? 1/4 minus 3 over 2. What's negative 3 half x plus x? Remember, the x is 2 over 2, right? Because if you want to add or subtract, you need a common denominator. And if you look at the right side, if you're going to add or subtract, you also need a common denominator, which is what? 4. That's 6 over 4 if you multiply the top and the bottom by 2. Boy, Jennifer, you made this problem ugly for us.
Yeah, I did. I'm good at doing that, trust me.
So negative 3 halves plus 2 halves, that's what? Negative 1 half x. Greater than what? What's 1/4 minus 6/4? Negative 5 over 4. So what do you want to do now? What? What did you say there? Come on. Get rid of the denominator. You're telling me now? We should have done it early. That's the direction I would have done. Well, I'll finish this and I'll show you what I would have done. And you tell me which one is better.
Yours, of course. That's an
Of course. So now here's the problem. This is a negative number. You got to divide. When you divide, when you have inequality, and you divide by a negative number, because to solve for x, you got to divide this side by what? You multiply it by what?
1/2.
By 2, you mean negative 2?
By 2, by 2.
Okay, you want to multiply. Change your mind? Okay. You want to multiply by negative 2, right? What's a negative times a negative? 2 over 2? X. What's a negative times a negative? Positive 10 over 4, which if you simplify, that's what? 5 over 2, right? Notice I didn't write anything here. I left it.
Because you switch the sign when you divide by a negative.
When you divide or multiply by a negative number, you must switch the sign of the inequality. So let's write that down. There's no room on this paper, so I'll go on the next one. When divide or multiply by a negative number, you must, not will be nice, you must switch the sign of the inequality. When divide or multiply by a negative number, you must switch the sign of the inequality. Thanks for nothing, Jennifer. Here we go.
Sure, anytime.
So Jennifer made us go with all these fractions. Let's look at these. There's three terms. This is one piece. There's another one. Only addition, subtraction separates them. Separates terms. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. What is the least common denominator for the 2 and the 4? 4. So let's multiply every one of these by 4. Notice I don't multiply the 1 minus x. That's one term. What's 4 times 3?
12.
Divided by 2?
6.
That's 6 times 1 minus x. 4 times 1/4 minus 1 step. All the fractions are gone in 1 step. Remember the answer was what? 5/2. So we'll see if we get that answer. Now distribute that. Now I'll distribute that. 6 minus 6x is greater than 1 minus 4x. I want all the x's on one side. It really doesn't matter which side. I'm just a fan of the left side. Some of you, when they see this number bigger, they move that one there to make it positive.
Should we have put the sign?
Not yet. I didn't multiply by a negative number, right?
Can we move
Only by negative number. So I can bring the negative 4 here. I can take the 6 there. So I'll have negative 6x. This becomes what? Plus 4x greater than what? 1 minus the 6. What's negative 6 plus 4? Negative 2x greater than what? Negative 5. I'm going to divide by a negative 2. Notice I'm dividing by a negative number. I have to switch the sign of the inequality. What's a negative over negative? Positive. Was that the same answer? Yeah. So you can always get rid of the fractions early by multiplying by the LCD. Again, if you were to graph that, 5/2 is really 2.5. So this is the 1, the 2, the 3. So it's somewhere here, and it's to the left. That's the 5/2. Then you look, there is the 5/2 again. So from negative infinity to 5/2. That's your answer. Any number you choose in that range, and if you plug it in, this side will be greater than that side. Okay. Let me try a couple more of these problems. Then this section is done. Minus 1 is less than 2x plus 3 less than 6. When you have less than sign, a compound statement like this, and you have less than or equal to, that's really an AND operation. You're looking for an overlap. You have to satisfy both conditions. That's an AND. So how would I solve this? Well, a lot of people will take this and break it down to two problems. They go, it's negative 1 less than 2x plus 3 and what? 2x plus 3, yes, less than what? 6. Two problems into one. And you solve them. It's an AND. Now, how do we solve this? Let's move the 3 here. becomes a negative. What's a negative 1 minus 3? Negative 4 less than 2x. To solve for x, notice I didn't switch the sign. To solve for x, you divide by 2. Do I switch the sign now? No, because I'm not dividing by a negative number. Take the 3 there, comes a negative. What is 6 minus 3? 3. To solve for x, you divide by what? 2. Remember, you got to satisfy both conditions. This is the negative 2. This is the 3/2. The first one says what? X is greater than negative 2, right? That's what it says. The mouth is toward the x. X is bigger than negative 2, so open circle here and go to the right all the way. And the other one says what? X is less than 3/2. This is the 3/2 and less than. This is an and. That means you got to satisfy both conditions. The only area that satisfies both conditions is where? Right there in between. That's it. That's your solution. From here to here, open circle at both ends. So your answer, parentheses not included, and what's in between them. So from negative 2 all the way to 3/2. Now, a problem like this, notice I don't have x's on the end here, just in the middle. Can you see that? Only x right in the middle, but nothing on the end. When you have a problem like this, you could actually do this problem, leave it alone, don't break it down, nothing, and tackle it as one big problem. That's the same problem. And the way we handle that is, well, you know what? I want to isolate x. To isolate x, I need to get rid of that plus 3. How do you get rid of that? Subtract 3 from all 3 sides, yes. And if you do that, this is gone. That's a negative 4 less than what? 2x less than 3. Remember, you want to solve for what? You want to solve for x. So to solve for x, you're going to divide this by 2. Guess what? Divide this by 2. Divide that by 2. X is greater than what? Negative 2 less than 3/2. Was that the same answer? Yep. So a lot of people handle them that way. If I don't have x's on the end. If I have x's on the end, doesn't work that nicely, so it's better to break it down to separate problems. Like this problem. That'll be the last one in this section. If you have 2x less than x minus 4 less than or equal to 3x plus 8. Again, I won't even think about leaving it as one problem. I'm definitely going to break it down to two problems. Again, that's an AND. X minus 4 less than or equal to what? 3x plus 8. I want all the x's on one side, all the numbers on the opposite side. Take that x to this side. What's 2x minus x? X is less than negative 4. Done with this one. This one, take the x's to one side, the numbers to the other side. I will have x minus 3x. When you change side, you change sign, right? X minus 3x, which is what? Negative 2x. 8. When you move the minus 4 there, becomes what? Plus 4. 8 plus 4, which is what? 12. And to solve for x, what do? Divide by negative 2. X, and what do we do now? Switch the sign. Negative 2 here. 12 divided by negative 2, which is negative 6. It's an AND. X is less than negative 4, and x is greater than or equal to negative 6. This is where the negative 6 is. There's the negative 4. Bigger or equal to negative 6. Equal to, closed circle. And at the same time, less than 4, not including the 4. So from negative 6, including that, that's a plus, negative 4, to negative 4, not including that. And that's the end of section 2. 17.2, yes.